Hey you guys, it's me Gemstone from TerraFreeHealing.com. I hope you guys are doing really well. This is your monthly reading. This is for January and it's for Cancer. And I just want to tell you guys I'm still doing the 2016 personal readings. I'm going to still be having that up through January. So please do check out my website if you're interested in that. And also do check out my website because I did post a blog on there. I'm talking about the general energies of 2016 numerologically because it adds up to 9, and so I just wrote a little bit about what that means and how it could be affecting us all. So look at that. It's just in the description box below, the link. So I'm going to be starting off with your finances like I normally do. And the first card is the Nine of Pentacles with the Two of Cups with the Ten of Pentacles. So what I'm kind of seeing here, Cancer, is finances can be looking really, really, really good in January. The Nine of Pentacles is about business endeavors. It's about you being either self-employed, about how you generate money for yourself, like doing your own through your own efforts. Like, it's not usually, this card can represent somebody that is an entrepreneur, like that kind of thing. So if there is a business that you have, I think that it could be working out really well. And I think it's definitely working out really well if you're teaming up in partnerships or collaborative efforts with somebody else, somebody that is equally as business savvy, or somebody that has maybe knowledge that you don't have, and you're bringing it together and sort of creating something that is really good between the two companies, or between just you and this other person. So I think that is kind of saying that any kind of business ventures done as a team or a partnership can work out really well, and it's leading to significant sums of money coming to you. So this is like small, and this is like good sum of money that is coming to you. And I just, it's going to be welcomed. Like, it's basically just saying that there's great success in your projects, in your work this month, especially if you have things where even if, let's say for instance, you have your ordinary job and you have a side gig. I think that it could even be more the side gig that actually ends up paying off, even probably more than your ordinary job does. So, but either way, it's like you've made very wise investments of your money as well. So it's like this could be money that you invested into maybe even a stock or a share or something like that, and then you're getting the payoff, because this card can represent a person that is very, again, business savvy. They understand money, they understand the financial game, so because of that, they can enter into these kind of agreements or investments that have a heavy payoff. So I think that something like that can be coming to you. And again, because this is a large sum of money, it can also represent it can represent something of a high value as well. So sometimes this can represent like a house. It can represent something being inherited, something being passed down to you as well. And that could also be the case with this sort of partnership. So it could be something that like a family member passes down to you that is very valuable, that is worth a lot of money, or something like that as well. So either way, like, finances seem to be faring just really good for you. And so in that sense, there is a lot to be happy about in that aspect of your life, Cancer. So let's move on to your relationship cards. Okay, your relationship cards. Interesting. You have the Six of Wands with the Six of Swords with the Seven of Cups. Okay, 2 6s and a 7. Sixes usually do actually represent harmony in relationships. But then what I'm kind of seeing is, to me, when the Six of Wands shows up in a relationship situation, it can be one where you're almost like you have this sense of pride when it comes to the other person that you are with. Sometimes it's almost like, for me, like the way I interpret this card, sometimes it can appear like, I don't want to make it sound like a trophy wife or something, but it almost can be a card where it's like, because it's such an achievement kind of card, it's almost like when you're with somebody and you're like, yeah, that's my partner. Like, you're a bit boastful or something like that. Like, in some cases, or to you, that person can mean so much to you. Like, that person can be like, oh, like, you find them very attractive. You find them, like, you get on well, all this kind of stuff, and you just think very highly of that individual as well. But then the Six of Swords is kind of saying it kind of represents a distance or a moving away. So I'm kind of feeling for some of you guys, because your financial life could be doing well, maybe your finances and that kind of aspect of your life, like your business or your work endeavors, are kind of taking you away from a partnership situation. Maybe like you've had to go abroad or go somewhere else to do this business, or maybe you're just stuck in the office all the time and it's kind of making your relationship suffer in that sense. So it could be coming up that way as well. But the Six of Swords is usually a card when you're kind of getting through a time where things was difficult. It was, it's like you're going through a difficult time, and then you're kind of trying to find something better. You're trying to, because it could almost be a card that is like migration, like, when a country is war torn or something, and they want to move to somewhere else where there is, peace, where there is, not that kind of stuff going on. And so even emotionally, we can go through that kind of time where we're going through this difficult period, and then it's kind of like we want to retreat away. But then what I'm seeing here is, if you're retreating away, it's like you're retreating away to a fantasy place. You might be retreating away in your mind. Like, there might be this sense of escapism when it comes to a relationship situation that's what I'm really feeling here. And this kind of escapism can sometimes get our emotions a little bit muddled up. Because sometimes maybe the fantasy is better than the reality. Maybe the outside appearance of things, like I said, having this partner that you're so fond of, maybe because of the outward appearance, or because they seem to be, so attractive, or you feel some connection that makes you really value them. But then at the same time, maybe things aren't as great as they're seeming, or as other people are thinking. Even maybe, like, maybe people are looking at you like, oh yeah, like, you guys make a good couple and blah blah blah, but then they don't know everything else that is going on in your relationship as well. Like, it could be that as well. Like, maybe you feel like you have to put on this, keeping up appearances kind of thing in front of other people in a relationship. Or again, maybe your fantasies are just taking you out of this relationship altogether. Like, maybe you're with this person, but maybe you have other desires, maybe physical desires or something like that maybe are not being fulfilled. So I'm kind of getting this idea of just escaping from the reality of a situation, and maybe the reality of things again hasn't been that good. But then at the same time, like, in the middle there is a rainbow, so the rainbows kind of represent hope, and that, hope isn't lost for this situation. I think that it's just telling you that if you really address the matters in a relationship, then it will actually improve. But if you kind of take this escapism kind of route, then it's like you're not really dealing with the problem, you're not really handling this issue, because things can actually transform and they can become better than what they are. And the same way, like, the outward appearance that you're giving to people could actually be a reality if this situation is sorted out properly. So those are for those of you that are in relationships. Okay, for those of you that are not in relationships, you have the interesting, all court cards. You have the Son of Pentacles with the Mother of Pentacles with the Daughter of Wands. So all these pentacles cards is interesting. Let me pick an additional card because I'm not gonna lie, I'm a bit lost with those all them court cards. But then the cards that I pulled just to clarify these other cards is the Hermit and the Five of Cups. So what these two are kind of telling me in like all together with all these cards is the Hermit is kind of saying that this is, this is a good time for you to self-reflect, and this is a good time for you to kind of be in your own space. As you can see, he's very comfortable, he's in his shell, and I think that that's what you are feeling. You're feeling comfortable in your surroundings, and especially being that you are, a cancers, their home means a lot to them, and I think that that's what you're enjoying, being in your own space, being in your own home and your own environment. I kind of get the feeling with this kind of Mother of Pentacles card that this is about being just comfortable in your surroundings, comfortable and feeling very cozy. And it's almost like being single, but being okay with being single, liking your own space. Like, this might be a time where, especially if you go and look at the blog post I wrote, you might be really connecting with the energies of this year, because of the fact that these energies are going to mean that you are going to retreat more into yourself. This is a time for you to learn and grow, and this is about your own personal spiritual development. And so I think that if you are single, you're going to be fine by yourself, because you're going to know or understand that, what, this is the time for me to kind of really understand me and really enjoy spending time by myself, and be, having that period of reflection, and all of that comes with just taking the time out that you need to do the work on yourself. And the only thing I would say here is sometimes even in being by ourselves, sometimes we don't see all the positives though. Sometimes we are wanting that kind of connection with somebody else. Sometimes we are needing that. Like, it's sort of interesting when I look at these cards together, there are different animals in these cards, but for some reason I'm kind of feeling like they are also connected, not just by the pentacles suit, but I'm feeling like it's a family, almost like a union. And I think that maybe you're just feeling a bit like alone, but then it's like, you don't have to see the negative in being alone. There is positives in being alone. I just named them. But it's like, I think that sometimes you might be feeling like down on yourself or down on things, because you're missing that kind of connection. And but again, sometimes I feel like being alone is for you to experience a sense of growth, because sometimes if you're in a relationship where you've been in one for a very long time, and I'm not saying that you have to be single to grow as a person, but sometimes we lose our independence, and we kind of lose the ability to step back and know what we need for ourselves, because we're always thinking of just you and the other person in your life. And I think that that's an opportunity for you to do that, so that at least when you are in a relationship, the right person does come along, you've done that work already on yourself, and you kind of feel like you know who you are, and you've set to achieve at least some of the things that you wanted to for yourself. But I kind of feel like this may be a month where you're kind of feeling a bit low in that aspect, and connecting these two together, um this card is feeling more like loss, whereas this card is kind of reflecting how maybe you want to feel. Maybe you feel like you would be happier if you had that kind of connection in your life. Maybe you feel like you would feel more whole, or at least things in your life might feel a bit more exciting. Maybe they're feeling a little bit humdrum right now, and that's also what might be getting you down a little bit if you are single. So yeah, those are for those of you that are single. So let's move on to your spiritual cards and see what they're showing. So your spiritual cards are the Father of Swords, with the Five of Pentacles. This is so weird. Cancer. With the High Priestess. Oh my god, some of these cards, like they are showing up repeatedly, I tell you. And I'm taking them from all different parts of the deck. So I'm really feeling like for some reason these are ones that I really want to show up and come through. And I also feel like sometimes when cards repeat themselves, it's really because it's showing more of a universal energy. So I feel like there's these cards are almost tying together the different astrological signs. I feel like there's a bigger message that is kind of taking place here that is trying to say as well. But then what I'm kind of feeling on a spiritual level for you guys is I feel like it's almost mirroring a bit of the last message. I think that there is this sense of being a bit down on yourself, Cancer, and I don't know why. What I'm kind of feeling is with there is some things that maybe you feel that have failed you, or there's some things that you're kind of feeling, and I think that this is a person that maybe you were even connected to. I don't think necessarily this could be a relationship. I feel like, I don't know why, but I'm literally picturing this person as a father, which usually doesn't happen. Like usually I don't even closely pay huge attention to like the when it says father, mother and stuff like that. Only in terms of like they only in associating it with the Queen of Swords, or the Queen of, or the King of Swords kind of thing, like that. Like I sort of pair them together because they are kind of similar in the decks. But I don't know why, but I'm literally feeling like this person could be a father figure that for some reason, for some of you guys, may have disappointed you or caused you a sense of sadness or feeling a sense of loss because of a father figure. Or maybe if this isn't the actual father, like this could be a loss in terms of some another person that is in your life. And maybe you thought that this person was going to be loyal, this person was going to stay around and be there, but then it's kind of saying that you've come to an understanding about maybe why this person isn't there. And maybe there is something that you're feeling. Maybe I almost sense that there is this feeling of loss, but it's all surrounding this other person. And I think spiritually it's kind of telling you that any challenges that you are facing at this time, it's like you do understand the higher purpose to it all. You do get it, but it still doesn't stop it from being painful, which I completely understand. I feel like for some of you guys, you may even be going to see somebody to deal with emotional issues as well. So maybe for some of you guys, you might be seeking a counselor, you might be seeking a even spiritual advisor, somebody that you can go to speak to about your problems or your issues that you've been facing, especially dealing with hurts, past hurts, things that have caused you sort of emotional pain. This is a good time to heal that away. I feel this month it's a good time for healing, and I think that in expressing your pain, it will help you to heal. So do that. Even if, and sometimes expressing your pain, you don't have to express it to a person that you don't know. Sometimes you can get that same benefit from just talking to somebody that is close to you about something that you've been going through. So I think that that's something that is needed right now for you, Cancer. So peace and many blessings to you. I'll be seeing you. Bye.